Breaking news, alarming trouble. Brewing for these 5 NFL rookies from the 2025 draft class. Every draft class has its share of disappointments. That's nothing new. But in an insane twist, some red flags are already flying before these rookies have even seen real game action. We're talking warning signs flashing during walkthroughs, media days, and early team activities.
Coach Prime's kid, the road to QB1 won't be easy, but Shedeur seems to have already passed the first test, earning belief from NFL legends, who know what greatness looks like. If Dixon and Theismann are right, Cleveland might not have to wait long for their next franchise quarterback.
The 2025 NFL Draft was stacked with elite prospects, hyped as one of the deepest talent pools in years. But just a few months later, some of those once celebrated picks are already making headlines for the wrong reasons. From messy contract standoffs to concerning off-field behavior and shockingly poor performances in camp, the signs are impossible to ignore. Here are 5 NFL rookies already raising serious concerns across the league, and why their debut seasons might be headed for a rough, unpredictable ride. Shedeur, DE Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals took a bold swing with the 17th overall pick, drafting Shedeur, the physically dominant, high-upside defensive end out of Texas A&M. On paper, he looked like the ideal long-term partner for Trey Hendrickson. But in reality, this pick is already looking like an insane gamble gone sideways.
Let's talk NFL football. Let's talk Cincinnati Bengals. Let's talk Shedeur Stewart. Shedeur Stewart is a defensive end that was picked number 17 in this past year's NFL draft. He currently is in a standoff with the Bengals due to the contract. The contract states that they can sign him, pay him for 1 year, and void the rest of the years of his rookie contract. If you understand how a rookie contract works, those years are usually guaranteed.
Why? Because Stewart still hasn't signed his rookie contract. That makes him the only first-rounder from the 2025 class without a deal. And the sticking point isn't the money, it's the language. Reports say Cincinnati wants a clause that would void Stewart's guaranteed money if he defaults in any year of his rookie contract. Stewart's camp sees it as a red flag, and they're not budging. That means Stewart, a player already tagged with pre-draft concerns about discipline and coachability, is making headlines not for his play, but for a contract dispute. And when the problems start before the pads go on, it's rarely a good sign. The Bengals were hoping for a game changer. Instead, they might already be rethinking their pick. 2. Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Cleveland Browns. No rookie has brought more noise into the league than Shedeur Sanders. Once a projected top 10 pick, he slid all the way to the 5th round, number 144 overall, where the Cleveland Browns took a flyer on him. The fall was shocking. The aftermath, even more so.
April 28, 2025, New York. The NFL Draft was supposed to be his moment, but whispers of entitlement and attitude changed everything. In the months before the draft, Shedeur Sanders sparked attention with remarks made during February's NFL Scouting Combine, fueling rumors about his supposedly unprofessional conduct at Jackson State in Colorado. "We turned 2 programs around, one after the other since," Sanders said at the event. "Why wouldn't I be able to do the same for an NFL team? History has a way of repeating itself." Shedeur Sanders was projected to go early, but round after round his name wasn't called. It was said owners wanted him off their boards. Shedeur's confidence and his father's legacy became a narrative. Finally, the Browns took a chance on Sanders in the 5th round. Now it's time for him to prove them wrong and show what he can do.
Since the draft, the picture has gotten messier. Insiders say Sanders underwhelmed in pre-draft interviews, coming across more focused on his image than the grind. There were real fears that Deion Sanders, still coaching at Colorado, might try to meddle in his son's NFL development. And now, those concerns are being validated. In the months since joining the Browns, Shedeur Sanders has already managed to raise more than a few eyebrows, and not for his play on the field. He's been cited for 2 separate speeding violations, including one jaw-dropping incident where he was clocked at 101 miles per hour in a 60 zone. That's not just a case of a young athlete with a fast car, it's a serious lapse in judgment that hints at a deeper issue. NFL teams aren't just investing in raw talent when they draft a quarterback, they're investing in a leader, a face of the franchise, someone who can represent the team with maturity and responsibility both on and off the field. When that player is already making headlines for reckless behavior just weeks after being drafted, alarm bells start to ring, and they echo loudly. Add to that the non-stop media attention that seems to follow Sanders like a shadow, and it's easy to see why the Browns may already be having second thoughts. From the moment he entered the league, every step he's taken has been scrutinized. Cameras trail him, headlines amplify his every move, and his last name alone carries expectations that few rookies are asked to bear. But this isn't Boulder anymore. This is the NFL. And in Cleveland, where fans are starved for a stable quarterback presence, distractions off the field are not welcome. None of this is to say Sanders doesn't have the tools. His arm talent is undeniable. His college production speaks for itself. But the NFL isn't just about highlight reels and stat sheets. It's about proving you can lead a locker room, earn the respect of veterans, and handle the weight of the position with grace. So far, Sanders has shown flashes of brilliance, and just as many moments of immaturity. If he doesn't take control of his narrative quickly, this could become yet another case of a high-profile athlete who let the noise consume the potential. The question now isn't whether Shedeur Sanders can play in the NFL, it's whether he can grow up in it. 3. Colston Loveland, TE, Chicago Bears. When the Bears picked Colston Loveland 10th overall, it caught some people off guard. Sure, Loveland was a reliable, athletic tight end at Michigan, but many had others, like Penn State's Tyler Warren, ranked higher. Still, the plan was obvious. Give Caleb Williams a big, dynamic target.
Everything I ever needed or wanted, I've always had. So shout out to my mom and my dad for that, and my brothers as well. They've done so much for me, so that's kind of my why. And then, just God's gave me the ability to play football, wake up every day, breathe. I got 2 hands, 2 feet, so I just want to take full advantage of that. And, I feel like this is my calling, and I want to influence others in a positive way by doing this.
But trouble came quickly. Loveland recently had surgery on the AC joint in his right shoulder, a crucial joint for a pass-catching tight end. He's already missed key offseason reps, and his availability for training camp is up in the air. Even if Colston Loveland gets the green light in time for training camp, the reality is that the damage may already be done. The offseason is critical for rookies, especially for those expected to contribute immediately, and Loveland has already missed crucial reps that can't be easily made up. He hasn't had time to develop chemistry with Caleb Williams, learn the intricacies of Chicago's offensive system, or get comfortable with the speed and complexity of the pro game. That kind of delay is a major setback for any rookie, but for a top 10 pick, it's a borderline disaster. The Bears didn't draft Loveland just to ease him into the lineup. They drafted him to be a cornerstone in their offensive rebuild. That kind of pressure doesn't come with patience. The expectations placed on Loveland are immense. With a franchise quarterback entering his rookie year and a fan base desperate for signs of offensive life, Loveland was supposed to be a safety valve, a mismatch nightmare, a reliable target in the middle of the field. Instead, he's on the sideline, watching as others build chemistry and climb the depth chart. That kind of missed development time can have ripple effects deep into the regular season. Timing routes, trust, communication, all of it is forged in the offseason, and Loveland hasn't been there. Of course, injuries are part of the NFL. No player is immune to the physical toll of the game. But when a rookie suffers a setback before he's even fully introduced to the league, it becomes a massive red flag. It calls into question his durability, his readiness, and whether the Bears may have reached too high in a draft that featured safer, more polished options. For a team that can't afford to miss on premium picks, Loveland's slow start isn't just unfortunate, it could be the beginning of a very costly miscalculation. 4. Derek Harmon, DT, Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers have a history of hitting home runs on defense. But with Derek Harmon, the 21st overall pick out of Oregon, they may have swung and missed.
Roger Goodell with the announcement.
With the 21st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, Oregon.
You can hear the roar in this crowd. That is the surprise of many, and it is echoed on this stage. Let's talk about Derek Harmon. The young man can rush the passer from the interior of that D-line.
At the Combine, Harmon's medicals raised serious concerns. MRIs showed a partially torn rotator cuff and a labral tear, 2 major red flags for a defensive tackle whose job relies on power and shoulder leverage. Add to that his inconsistent weight, he's bounced from 350 to 305 and back up to 313 in just a few years, and questions about his conditioning and discipline get louder. Even former Titans GM Ran Carthon publicly questioned Harmon's durability, a rare, sharp critique from someone who knows the league inside and out. The Steelers are betting that their system and culture can get the best out of Harmon, But this is a high-risk pick, and if the medicals don't hold, the Steelers could be looking at a first-round bust they never saw coming. 5. Tyler Loop, K, Baltimore Ravens kickers aren't usually the center of controversy, but in Baltimore, Tyler Loop is under an insane amount of pressure, and he's already crumbling. After parting ways with future Hall of Famer Justin Tucker amid misconduct allegations and a suspension, the Ravens drafted Arizona kicker Tyler Loop in the 6th round to fill the void. But instead of locking down the job, Loop has been wildly inconsistent in minicamp.
For Tyler Loop to try to make it a one-score game again. And for Tyler Loop. Boom. Listen to the ball come off this young man's foot, folks.
52 earlier. This one from 51. So this is basically a chip shot from Loop. Plenty of leg on this one, right down the middle.
He's missed long kicks, struggled with placement, looked shaky under pressure, and now undrafted rookie John Holland, yes, undrafted, is reportedly outperforming him. This is the NFL. There's no room for error, especially when you're replacing a legend. Loop was supposed to bring stability, instead he's teetering on the edge of getting cut before August. No regular season games have been played, depth charts are still in flux, but make no mistake, these 5 rookies are already skating on thin ice. In a league where every snap counts and every mistake is magnified, the margin for error is razor thin. And this is just the beginning. In part 2, we'll break down 5 more rookies who may be in way over their heads, including Benjamin Morrison, Will Johnson, Jackson Dart, and Abdul Carter. So stay locked in. Because if the early chaos is any sign, the 2025 rookie class could go down as one of the most insane and unpredictable in recent memory.